Welcome back, guys. So just the other day we took a look at RetroFlag's new Superpi case for the Raspberry Pi 3 or B+, and I think it is an amazing case. A lot of people are going to dig it. Definitely check that video out if you haven't done so already. But the thing that I was most excited about was the quality of this controller. This controller feels amazing. But the one thing that I pointed out during that video was that it feels a little heavy. It's got a little heft to it. And I thought that was pretty sweet because a lot of times third-party controllers, they feel like nothing, like they weigh nothing. And this has a little weight to it. So today what I wanted to do was open this up and see what's inside, because a lot of times companies will weigh down their products because they know us consumers, or a lot of us consumers, equate weight with quality. And I want to see, did they weigh this down, or is it just made with quality components that have a little heft to it? But before we do that, I'm going to bust out the scale. Let's see what we could do with this. So I'm going to weigh this bad boy. Oh, let's turn it on first. Make sure it's zeroed out. I'm going to weigh it without the cord, so I'm going to do this with several controllers. I'm going to put it right to the top of the display, and it looks like we're at what, 2.9 ounces. So this is the RetroFlag controller. Now this is a second version official Super Nintendo controller. Let's line it up the same way. .6 ounces. So the RetroFlag weighs more than this bad boy. And then the Super Nintendo Classic controller. Looking at 2.9, 2.8, somewhere around that. So that and the RetroFlag weigh pretty close to the same. Maybe the RetroFlag's just a little heavier than the Classic Edition controller. I didn't want to weigh them, with the cords on here, because each one definitely is going to vary by length and whatnot, and the thickness of the cable. But I think that was a fairly reasonable assessment of weight. So the RetroFlag case weighs more than everything. Pretty nuts. So what we're going to want to do, let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. So let's see if these guys have weighted this down in any way, or if it's just a quality controller. So we have 5 screws. I'm gonna go ahead and take them all out real quick. Okay, so we got those screws out. Moment of truth, let's open this bad boy up. Interesting. Those are, you cannot remove the L and R buttons. They melted the plastic. Let me see if I can get a close-up for you. If you can see that right there, it's like welded on. Can't remove them. Well, that's okay, I guess. A little strange, but whatever. Pretty interesting. So there's that. That's our controller without the innards. 1.9 ounces for the plastic shell. Now this wasn't planned, but now I'm curious. There's nothing weighted in there, but I want to compare it to a legit Super Nintendo controller. Push those to the side. Now let's see what the inside of the Model 2, I guess you would call it, Super Nintendo controller looks like. And as you can see, you can remove the L and R buttons. The boards are very similar. I would say the Super Nintendo, the official one, takes up a little more real estate, it seems. Let's get that out of there. And there's that. We'll compare the two boards in a second, but let's throw that bad boy on the scale. 2.3 ounces. The RetroFlag was 1.9. This is the Super Nintendo board. Let's try to line it up square so we get like the same amount of wire on there. 0.7, 0.8. Interesting. Are we zeroed? Yes, we are. So we compared the weights for whatever reason. I mean, not really scientific or anything, but I was really curious why this feels so much, so heavy. And the one thing that I can see comparing them is, first when I seen these, I was like, oh, that's where the weight's coming from. But then when you compare all these posts on the official one, I think it kind of makes up for the plastic used there. So my conclusion is just it's a quality damn controller. I don't know what else to tell you. I was really curious to see what was inside, so there we go. Oh, actually, that was a Super Nintendo Classic controller. I thought I opened up the... it's still an official controller, but whatever. Everything looks very similar. The membranes, pretty good stuff. So there we have it. Appreciate you guys stopping in, watching this. Smash that like button. Subscribe. If you're interested in getting this deluxe kit, the Raspberry Pi Superpi Case, link will be in the description. With that said, guys, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out. Bye-bye. Boom.